No more, no more, no more, no more, no more crumbs.
It's the Value Journey Podcast with Rhonda Jennifer.
No more crumbs. You are royalty, victorious, God's creation. You've been made for so much more. No more, no more, no more, no more, no more.
Often, from our experiences, we are left to feel unworthy, empty, and questioning if we matter. But with God, He reassures us that we do matter, and we do have tremendous value. Have you been conditioned to devalue yourself? Are you settling for a lifestyle of crumbs? Do you question your purpose and value? The No More Crumbs value messages are derived from the Bible story in Matthew 15:25-28, where a woman believed she was only worthy enough to settle for crumbs and never believed she deserved more. Not until she met Jesus. Jesus encouraged her to want more in her life. And with this woman's acceptance of Jesus' love, she was awakened to want better for her life. From this acknowledgement, Jesus commended her on her faith to accept the new truths about herself. The Value Journey podcast is focused on providing supplemental and suggested tools to help you accept the positive truths about yourself and guide you on how to take action steps to activate your truths. God has designed for us all to live a life that is full and enriching. You deserve victories in your life. You are royalty. You are God's creation. You are valuable. Now join me as we grow together with the Value Journey podcast.
No More Crumbs, the Value Journey podcast. I'm your host, Rhonda Jennifer. Well, my blouse today is similar to the one worn by our former First Lady. And what better time is to honor our guest, Roz Miller Choice, also known as the Expert Maker. Roz is an entrepreneur, a brand and marketing expert, a professional speaker, and a published author. She has 5 books, and the 6th one is coming out this summer. All can be found on Amazon.com. Roz learned her video production, marketing, branding, and creative writing skills in the television industry. She had a long career in television, news, and production. She has been seen on CNN, CBS, PBS, and has worked as a reporter and producer for WNBC, Fox, WOR, NJN, and PBS. Also, Fortune 500 companies have hired her to work on creative projects, including Time Warner and American Express. This amazing woman is able to squeeze in time for community service as well. Roz serves on the board of directors of Stronger Tomorrow, a not-for-profit organization for women's health. She is also a consultant for Real House Incorporated, a not-for-profit group that provides homeless shelters, halfway houses, and substance abuse treatment centers. In addition, she is a communications director for Million Man Montclair, a nonprofit community service organization that serves meals to senior citizens and the disabled. Roz is also the Northeast Regional Director for Mocha Moms Incorporated, a national organization supporting mothers of color. She has a BA in Broadcasting and Journalism from Long Island University. I am so honored to welcome Roz Miller Choice to our show. Welcome, Roz. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate
Yes,
that.
thank you.
Congratulations on your new podcast.
Oh, thank you. You're our first guest, and I'm so honored. Thank you. So, God has orchestrated for me to meet you, and I've just been so thankful. And actually, I am one of your clients, but I have benefited from that and started this podcast because of you, and I want to thank you. And so you benefit the world greatly. So I really would like for you to share with the listeners the gift and how you can recognize people's potential, and then how do you make them believe it and know it? You know, I didn't know it. You know, I gave you one little tidbit, and then look, I mean, it just took off. So could you share with the listeners, how do you have that gifting, that intuitiveness?
no one has ever actually asked me that question before.
No.
They could ask, okay, she could do this, and they accept that. But so now I have to think. I think part of it is just sort of my upbringing
Okay.
of often not feeling as though I had been heard.
Yes. Wow.
And so I became very observant,
Okay.
of other people. And I think the other portion came in my career as a television reporter. It was my job to uncover information
I love it.
and sort of investigate information and news. And so I would have to ask the right questions in order to get to the true answers of things. And I think that's probably where my ability to earnestly talk to someone and in just a few minutes have or uncover their genius,
Yes.
uncover what they don't even realize they have, uncover the knowledge and the training and the experience that they have garnered and gathered over the years and forgotten
Yes.
that they have stored up this information. And so that, I guess, it's twofold of where it comes from. But I'm so blessed to now be able to utilize that gift and that I call my little superpower.
Yes, I agree. It is a superpower. And in the fact that like you can recognize the gifts, but you take time personally to identify each person's gifts, and then you strategically set out plans that can help them. And you have such a broad heart. I mean, you have so much on your plate now. So for you to really just take your time with each client is just so special. So can you expound on that as well?
I think what that's about is people don't realize the one that they know so much information, which I just described. The other thing is that they don't realize that the information that they have is valuable to someone else.
Yes.
And that they have the ability, if packaged properly, to share that information with someone else and to improve someone else's life or change someone else's life.
I agree.
And so my job is to then help them organize that information, synchronize it, package it in a lot of different ways, and then show them how to share it. Find who it is that needs that message and be able to communicate it in a way that someone else understands and someone else can glean from them and learn from them.
Yes. And that's so interesting because, you also work with the inner person, which you don't realize because you give suggestions and you do it in such a kind way where it's not insulting or it's not, putting them down. You're just giving them the potential of what they could accomplish. So what images or what kind of tidbits can you give for people to improve their image right now? Do you have a way to just identify what works for that one person? So what tidbits can you give for them to start improving on their image?
It starts with recognizing that you have something to share. And once you're past that hump, because it is a hump for some people, once you're past that, it then becomes a way of writing down and organizing what you know. What topic do you know most about? What do you know about that topic? What are you passionate about? What do you know about that passion? What have you been trained to do? And what do you know in that area? And so it's a matter of really categorizing your knowledge. That's step one. Formulating a blueprint of what you know. Once you've done that, you have, let's say, 10 topics in your field of interest. You then start to expound upon each of those topics. How do I share this information? So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say it's a real estate investor. And with real estate investing, there are lots of things to know. You have to understand costs of renovation. You have to know how to find properties. You have to know how to close properties. And so those are 3 topics that you need to know about. All right, so then take one of those topics. close on a property? What needs to be done in order for me to close a property? I need to gather the documents. I need to contact a realtor. I need to make sure that an attorney has been contacted. I need to put together the contract.
Yes.
So there are lots of things under that subject. And once you have those things organized, then you can talk about each of those things. So then you might want to start to write articles on
Yes.
each of those topics, or produce videos so that people recognize, oh, this person has an expertise in this area.
Right.
I need to connect with them. So once you start sharing your knowledge, you will find your tribe. There will be a community of people who have been searching for you.
Yes, and I'm a testament to that because you really helped me on that path and kind of leading me, because before I was all over the place, and just had so many things, but you honed in on that. So I really appreciate that. So leading on to that, what have you found in your business the hardest behavior to change? Because there is change that is needed. So what has been the most difficult behavior that you've noticed that people struggle with?
That's an easy one for me.
Okay.
I often recognize people's talent way before they do.
Okay.
And once they have an inkling of their talent and their knowledge, it then becomes a challenge for them to step into their greatness.
Yes.
That's a process. It's an inner process that takes a while, and I have to wait them out.
Yes.
I'm ready. I know it before they do, but I've got to wait them out.
Yes.
I have to give them evidence of their greatness before they finally take the leap and go, oh yeah, I am that.
Right.
That's an inner game. People can tell you all day long how fabulous you are, but until you embrace it.
Yes. Yes. And you're so patient with that. You are. And so what is your most significant motivation, dealing with your clients, each one has a different skill or different aspect of a job, because I've even watched your shows and you've done with, doctors and skateboarders and, interior designers, just what is your greatest motivation do you get from this?
Okay. One, let me also say something that was not in your introduction of me. I am the host of a show called the Expert MakerTM, and that's what you're referring to.
Yes.
And I just want to make sure that you're
sorry about that. Yes.
I am the host of a television show that is on Thursday evenings at 9 p.m. and we're on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire Stick. And any way that you stream, you can probably find our show. It's on the Promote Her channel, and you can also find us online. Now, having said that, you're right. I work with people in so many different fields. That's the thing about uncovering your genius. It's uncovering your genius in whatever industry you're in.
Yes.
And I think what zhuzhes me most in working with clients is the fact that I'm helping someone that will help someone else.
Wow.
When I lift someone up into where they're supposed to be, in that spotlight where they're supposed to be, and their community finds them, and they start to, they are empowered to help other people.
Yes.
I take some gratitude in the people that my clients help. I never get to meet those people. I don't have direct contact with my clients, but I know who they're helping. When I help a client create a coaching program or digital product that they then are able to share with someone else and improve someone else's life, I'm in there.
Right.
There's something in there that goes, yes, and that was my good.
Yes, I know.
And I recognize that is probably a little selfish on my
part.
But I am so happy when my clients tell me, hey, I got a call from someone. Or like you, who says, there was someone who called and wants all of these books because they're having a digital, a virtual study guide, and they're using my books.
Right.
I'm so happy that I am. I'm like,
Yes, exactly.
it's a win for me. It's my win.
Yes, and I give it
Your
to
win
you.
is my win.
Yes, I give it to you. It's well earned. So what made you want to shift in your career? You were in the public spotlight, and then to go into this space of being an expert, and utilizing your giftings, for yourself and help others.
The expert maker and this business that I'm in, which is personal branding, evolved. I ran a production company, a TV production company for many, many years. And people, friends and associates, I started to recognize their value and would give suggestions of what they should do. I was doing this, I was being the expert maker unknowingly.
Yes, yes.
But what happened was they would be slow to grasp and take advantage. And so I realized that I needed to produce products and services to help people along the way. It wasn't going to be enough to just suggest to them, oh, you should do this and you should do that, that and a Metro card gets you a ride in the subway.
Right.
But if indeed you actually have something tangible, products and services that you can help people produce and get along their way, then I was truly making an impact.
Okay.
And that was the difference.
Yeah. And then do you pick and choose your clients, or are they drawn to you, or sometimes you have to turn away clients, or how does that work?
A variety of ways. Most clients are referred to me.
Yes.
And it also depends. Some clients go the route of taking my course.
Okay.
Which is a course that I have where I teach people to uncover their genius. I show them how to categorize their information. I show them how to become speakers, how to write a speech, how to host a workshop. That's all in my course.
Yes.
And it's sort of a do-it-yourself process that they can go through.
I like that.
My other clients come to me wanting what's called my expert biz box, where I do it all for them.
Yes.
I produce the videos, I produce their content, I write their scripts for them. I do these things for them and then sort of present it to them, their business in a box.
I love it.
And so clients come to me in a variety of ways. They come to me through the show, and contacted my office. And I think the people that come to me, especially for the expert biz box, are ready.
Yes.
They recognize something in themselves. There is that gnawing thing in the back of their minds, like, I know I'm meant for more. If I just had some support, someone else to kind of hold my hand through this process, they may not have that full thought, but it's in there. Like, I know I've got something.
Yes.
And I'm it's keeping me awake at night.
Yes.
And I don't know what the next steps are.
I agree.
So what do I do? Oh, here's this woman, and they're calling her the expert maker. Maybe she can help.
Yes.
So I don't take everyone because some people aren't ready.
Yes. And that's a good point.
Some people aren't ready and they're not going to benefit. And when you don't benefit, I don't benefit. As I told you, I get benefit when you help your clients. When I help a client, help clients.
Yes.
And so I don't take everyone because they're not necessarily ready. And I'm thankfully at the place in my career or in my business where I can be selective.
Oh, that's good.
Because I don't need the headaches.
No. Right. Exactly. Exactly.
I don't. I enjoy what I do, which means I want to enjoy the people in my circle, including my clients.
I agree. So then maybe, do you have 1 to 2 key concepts that you would advise the listeners that they can use to improve their life and their self-worth. Maybe they're trying to make different changes now, trying to look for a new job or career. And, they might take your course, or they may just glean for what you have today. So do you have any advice or any suggestions that they can do
Of how to improve,
to improve their
self-worth.
life, or to make, brave choices, and maybe take a
All right.
different
It is incredibly silly for you
Mhm.
to ask me that question. So let's flip the script.
Okay.
And why don't you answer that question?
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Rhonda, Jennifer,
Yes.
what 2 tips do you have to
Yeah.
help people recognize their value and let them recognize that they have been made for so much more?
Right. And thank you for doing that's the correspondence in you. Well, for me, like as I shared my story, it's the courage of when you run out of yourself, and God just changed me and developed me and led me to you, which I'm very thankful for. And with that leading of you being so intuitive to draw out of me something that I was afraid to even step out on. So making that change to take a whole new change in my career is rewarding. I had to take chances. I had to believe in myself for once, and not be so shaky, undependent on if anyone approved of it or not. I knew it in my heart that I was ready to do this. And I, through my life, my full-time job, I was there at 19 years, on the grind and everything. And it wasn't what I always wanted, but I knew I could do more. And then now God led me to the point where I can do more. And I took that chance. So for other people, I would say to really, like you said, kind of write down a list, identify what you want to do, and then go for it. Go for it. Take that leap of faith.
So it sounds to me you said a couple of things. 1, trust yourself.
Yes.
2, be brave
Yes.
to step out
Mm-hmm.
out of your comfort zone.
Exactly.
And then 3, if I heard this right, is give yourself permission.
Yes.
Don't wait for anybody else to decide, check, you're
Yes.
good enough.
Yes.
You're ready to go.
Yes.
It is you giving yourself permission to explore, to see what's out there, to take a chance
Yes.
and have a little faith that you will be buoyed.
Yes.
You
Yes.
step out there, not
Yes.
knowing where that
Yes.
second step is.
Exactly.
Have a little faith that that second step,
Yes.
there will be something,
Yes.
someone higher than us
Right.
that will race that step
Yes.
and is probably waiting for you.
Yes.
Not probably, is
Yeah.
waiting for you
Yes. And that
to
was the
lean
reason
in.
for this podcast, for others to learn that, and to have the courage that I had to get to the connected and healthy, beautiful people like yourself. Everyone has that opportunity in their life. And, like you just being generous with your time, because you've gone above and beyond, and it shows. And I'm so thankful for it.
Well,
And
you have as well, because there, you know what, you have stepped out. You stepped out when you reached out to me, and we have been working together
yes,
to create some products and services and to get your name out there and
yes,
to introduce you to your audience, to the
yes,
meeting for you. But there have been 2 things that we didn't necessarily prompt you to do, and this show is one.
right,
And
true.
the second thing is your Wednesday morning prayer call.
That's
And
true.
so, you know, my team may have done a little bit of a push to
Hmm.
you, but
Yes.
there, you have taken off
Yeah. Yeah.
and did not need as much prompting as you thought you
Yes.
would.
Yeah. And I try to talk to myself not to hold too tightly on you, and just, embrace myself to really be launched out there.
You
But
are. Done it.
yeah. And
So
so
proud of
the
you.
listeners, need to know, like, they can be like as beautiful as you are, and do so much with their time. Like, as much as you do, it's amazing. And you stay calm through it, and then you perfect everything that you touch upon. So it gives the listeners hope, that they can make a change. And it's just a lot of behavioral changes, a lot of self-talk, and a reliance on God, a trust on God.
And baby steps.
Baby steps. Yes.
It might be those, morning affirmations, or just sort of that shift in your morning and what you're expecting out of that day.
I agree.
Get up, and here's something that I do. Each morning before my feet touch the ground, I challenge myself to list 15 things that I'm grateful for.
I love it.
Because I have found when I don't take that time to just divert my mind into something that's positive,
yes,
I will instantly go into overwhelmment. Before I get out the bed, it's like, oh, I've got to do this, 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 this.
Yes, yes.
Before I get out of the bed, I'm overwhelmed. And so that gives me a moment to just shift my thoughts.
Yes.
Shift my peace. And I believe that when you are grateful,
yes,
more shows up for you to be grateful about.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. That's a good way to put that. Yes.
That's what I found. And so,
yeah,
little steps, it might just be shift the way that you start your morning.
Yes.
Other thing I do in the morning is smile for a full 2 minutes.
Oh, that's a good one.
Just smiling.
I love it.
I know a lot of people recite affirmations.
Yes.
That's not necessarily my thing, but I know that earnestly works for others. And I also have this little pot that I put in my gratitudes or things that I appreciate.
Oh,
Just
I
a
love it.
little note, I appreciate this. Boom.
Yes.
And then when I'm feeling not in the best space, I'll pull one of those out and read it and go, oh,
I
yeah.
like that. I like that technique. Yes.
This was nice. That was nice when this happened,
I
So
love it.
just honestly, it doesn't take leaps. Small little changes will change how you feel, and it will change what's brought into your experience.
Yes, I love it. I agree. I thank you. So can you tell us, you're explaining a little bit more about the Expert Maker and the TV show and what you offer. So if you can expound on a personal mantra you may have, or like a personal quote or word of encouragement that you may have, do you want to share this with the listeners?
Absolutely. One of the things I say is in order to help more people, you have to stop being the best kept secret. That's my mantra.
Yes.
You can't hide your light and help people.
Yes.
People won't even know to come to you. So it's okay to, without being boastful or braggadocious,
Yes.
You've earned the right to know what you know. If you've been in an industry for 20 years, you've earned the right to say, and let me make sure that I clarify an expert. People think they have to know everything about a subject in order to be considered an expert, and nothing could be further than further from the truth. If you have been working in an industry and you have some training and you have experience and you have solved problems and you've come up with creative solutions to challenges, you about that industry probably know 95% more than someone who's not in that industry. Makes you an expert.
I love it.
You won't have to know everything today. Experts know what they know and they continue to grow.
Good point.
They're watching the trends. They're reading the latest. They're creating some of the newest trends. So don't let the word expert intimidate you.
Yes, I agree. That's a good one. So would you have a scripture or or just, you said you smile in the mornings.
I do.
And so do you have anything that you may read or meditate, any suggestive reading materials that could help the listeners?
You know what? Right now, all I read are business books. So
Yes, yeah. And I rarely have time. I'm like on social media.
I wish that I had time for inspirational kinds of things. I just don't. And because
Yes,
I have been in this quarantine, COVID still mode,
yes,
there are limits to the things that I can do, but lots more responsibilities have come into my life.
yes.
So the simple pleasures of reading something inspirational, just I have not found a lot of time to do. I
Yeah.
have to inspire myself with my 15, my list of 15 gratitudes.
Exactly, exactly. Do you want to share one of your gratitudes that you have?
All right, let's see. So I'm grateful that I had a conversation with a colleague who is in need of a service that I certainly can provide, but don't necessarily haven't necessarily provided in the past. And so I have created a specific package for her clients that I can provide that particular service. And so it's that's one thing I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that that impromptu conversation turned into a product or service that I can offer to someone.
Amazing, amazing. So you mentioned products, and do you have other products, and in addition to your books and your the trainings?
You know what? That for the most part is it. I have books. My book will be released soon. The Expert Maker: Turning Your Knowledge into Multiple
Yes.
Streams of Income. I have courses. Know It, Share It, Profit, which I've already mentioned, and Ultimate Blueprint Solution are two of my courses. And I also offer services. One is Expert BizBox, where I help people become the experts in their industry.
Yes.
And the new service is I will be helping people because we now have so many different types of streaming services like Apple TV and Roku and all of these. And YouTube now has their own television platform, and lots of large companies are starting their own television platforms. There's an amazing amount of opportunity because they all have 24 hours, 7 days a week airtime to fill.
Yes.
So lots of television shows are going to be cropping up. They need the content. And because I've spent 15, 20 years, actually closer to 20 years in the television industry and understand the industry and understand what it takes to be a television host, I have a new service to help people be ready, become camera ready.
Wonderful, wonderful. And then do you have another, you were mentioning something before we recorded that you may want to share with the audience? And yes.
You know, and this is kind of where we started this conversation.
Yes.
We're helping people understand their value and to uncover their genius.
Yes.
And so I do have a free webinar, a free training where people can come and I walk you through a process to help you uncover your genius, help you understand what expertise you might have to offer, something that you probably have been overlooking. It might be a passion that you have put aside, or it might be a challenge that you have overcome and not realize that there are lots of other people with that challenge, and you have somehow created a system or process to overcome it. Well, let me help you share that. So the webinar is called Uncover Your Genius. And you know what, if it's all right with you, I will put the link in.
Yes, please. And I'll also have it in the show notes as well.
Here we go. There you go.
Thank you.
Welcome. I just put it in the chat there, and you can go there. It is a free training.
Great.
About 35 minutes. And I love it because every time someone goes through that training with me, they have aha moments. It's like, And there's always like, really?
Yeah.
Someone would be interested in this knowledge? Huh? Who
Oh,
knew?
oh my goodness.
You know? And it's my little ego boost.
Mhm.
Ooh, now you know too.
Yes. Oh, that's so wonderful for you to share something like that. I thank you. Thank you. And I'm sure the listeners will look forward to participating.
Please do go to that URL that I just shared in the chat, and you can enroll and take this great training. Set aside 40 minutes. It's an investment in you.
Yes.
Just time that you will have no idea what it could lead to once you have figured out what you could share with the world, and you've uncovered your genius.
Wonderful. And is there another place that anyone can find you if they wanted to look through your products and services?
Sure,
If
you
you
can
want to
always
add that.
find a great website would be my television website, which is theexpertmaker.tv.
Okay,
Theexpertmaker.tv. I'll pop that in your.
Thank you. And I'm going to add in the show notes where to find your television show, because
Please do.
yes, it's so enjoyable, informative.
It's a fun show to do. It is a labor of love because, as you know,
Yes.
it takes a long time to produce the content for a 30-minute show.
Yes.
I think your shoot lasted probably 8 hours.
Okay. Yes.
And we had multiple shoots, and then there was a photography session. And so a lot goes into producing a 30-minute show.
Yes.
But you get to see the process of taking someone from where they are and walking them through becoming the experts in their field, and seeing what it takes to do that. So we have had amazing responses to the show. And it's funny, it had been on, this is something that you talk about, vision boards.
Yes.
It was on my vision board to, I haven't done television in several years, lots of years. But it was on my vision board to pitch a television show this year. Okay. And so when the opportunity came, not only to pitch it, but it was, hey, ready to host a show. It was like, whoa, I had to take some advice that I give to my clients and step fully in, because I wasn't at first. It was like, I wasn't really ready. I was just going to pitch. And then I kind of got thrown into the host position.
How inspiring.
COVID-19 came and production became challenging.
Yes.
And it has been a learning experience. I'm used to being just simply in front of the camera. In this instance, with this show, I'm also the executive producer. So it's causing me to grow as well.
Yes.
And to come up with some creative ways to get things done in a pandemic.
Yes, you've been creative, very resourceful, very resourceful. And then your show, you're moving into making segments. You mentioned you're shifting the show a little.
Yes, but when the show is on hiatus, once we finished a season, I produce these mini shows. Actually, they're sort of these mini classes. They run anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, and I teach a lesson in each masterclass short, I call them, on personal branding and marketing, and how you can be seen as the expert maker.
Yes. Oh, that
and you can find those on the same channels that my show is streaming on, because we are streaming, we're on demand. So if you're not available on Thursday nights at 9 p.m., you can watch us on demand. And you know what, the other, I also want to, well, once you click onto my television website, but let me give you, in addition to that, the channel, which is the Promote Her channel.
Yes.
A little bit about Promote Her. Promote Her is an organization that is just a year old, but Promote Her is an organization that supports women leaders, women business owners, and they launched almost 60 chapters
Goodness.
internationally
Beautiful.
in the matter of just a few months.
Oh
Their
my
leader
goodness.
is the leader is Najia Brooks,
Okay.
the brand architect. She is an amazing marketer, an amazing communicator, an amazing woman of faith.
Wow.
And she has stepped out and has started an absolute movement. It was just simply an organization with some events and a retreat. And she had an opportunity to create a television channel
Oh my goodness.
and stepped into it
Beautiful.
and launched. I think there were about 20 shows when we started.
Wow.
And it's been growing ever since then. We had an audience of a potential audience of 100 million when we started in March. And by June or July, it had grown to 360
What a
million
blessing. Oh
in
my
72
goodness.
million homes.
Oh my
So
goodness.
Promote Her is an organization that people should look out for.
Yes.
I'm going to put. All right, I think that's the correct website that I
Okay,
just put
great.
in. And that's the actual channel. So you can
Okay.
watch all of our programs online as
Thank
well.
you.
So if
Oh,
you don't
that's-
have those streaming devices like Apple and Roku, you can simply watch it online.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh my goodness, so inspiring. See how the world opens up to all these amazing people. It's just amazing. It's amazing.
It is. When you open up, the world opens up,
Yes, yeah.
right?
And
You know,
then
set that
hearing,
intention. Set
yes,
the intention.
and people that are stepped out in faith and look where it takes off. It's just amazing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, pulling my own safety net,
Yes,
it has always been my motto. I pull it not knowing how I'm going to fall, where I'm going to fall, but always trusting that I will land on my feet. And if I don't land on my feet, hopefully I land on my bottom and I
yes,
can then stand on my feet. But
exactly.
that is one thing that I will say. I am willing to step out and challenge myself.
Hmm.
And that's something I hope that I impart onto my clients as well.
Yes.
Step out there. You're good.
Hmm.
If necessary, I got you, and I've got some support for you.
Yes.
You don't even really need me
No,
to do
no.
this thing.
And just exemplifying your courage just makes other people feel like they could have courage and do it, you know? So
I hope so.
it's contagious. It's very contagious.
It's either courage or foolishness. I'm not
No.
sure which.
Oh, Roz, it was such a pleasure. And I was just so honored to have you. And I will include all your show notes and all the links for everyone to find you. And do you have any last words for us to share?
I would say if there has been a nudging on your part that says there's more for me, I don't know what that means fully, but there's more out there for me. I'd encourage you to listen to that inner voice, to listen to your own intuition, to listen to that still small voice that sometimes gets louder and louder, and take action.
Yes.
Take action. The worst thing that could happen is what? You learn something?
Right, exactly. And you
So
won't know if you until you try, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
You absolutely will not know until you try. And the other piece of advice I would give is when you have a dream that's bigger than anyone else in your circle has ever thought
Yes.
or acted on, keep it close to your vest.
Yes.
You don't need to share all
I agree.
that God has given you
Hmm.
with everybody else.
Yeah.
Because people unknowingly, not necessarily maliciously, will put a damper on your dream. If
Yes.
it's not something that they can see or figure out how to do, they, in protecting you, will put a damper on your dream.
Yeah,
Hold your dreams close to the vest. Tell people about them once you've achieved them.
I agree. Because that causes all types of a conflict, and it limits you. So I
It will
totally
limit
agree.
you.
That's
You will be
excellent.
limited by their limitations.
Yes. Yeah.
No. Hold
Oh,
on to your dream. Hold it close to the vest. Nobody needs to know yet.
oh, thank you for that. Oh, that is a nugget right there. Thank you. Well, Roz, I thank you again, and I've been honored to even know you, to work with you, and to even have this time.
Uh,
Thank you.
this has been fun. I appreciate you. And thank you for letting me be your first guest. I feel honored
Yes,
by that.
it had to be. It had to be you.
It is a pleasure. It's such a pleasure to know you.
Thank
You
you.
have brought so much joy into my business,
Oh, thank
into
you.
my team. They love working with you.
Oh, good.
They love creating things for you.
Oh,
They're excited about things that you're doing. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
thank you. Oh, that's good to hear. Thank you.
What a wealth of information we received today from our guest and my friend, Roz Miller Choice. I hope you have been encouraged and inspired as I am. While we are on our value journey, we are applying ourselves to learning and growth to progress and enhance our daily lives. I couldn't think of a better way to end the show than with this video on Roz Miller Choice, the Expert Maker television show.
People across the globe have knowledge to share, and sometimes they don't know it. That's where I come in. I'm Roz Miller Choice, and I'm known as the Expert Maker. I'm traveling around the country, from big cities to small suburbs, in search of business owners that are playing too small. They come from every imaginable profession, and I reveal how they can make a bigger name for themselves. They'll learn to uncover their genius, package their knowledge, and discover new ways to make money. Using my customized Know It, Share It, Profit system, my team will transform people from being the best kept secret into the go-to brand in their industry.
You saw some things that I couldn't see about the possibilities.
That's why I'm called the Expert Maker.
Watch The Expert Maker with Roz Miller Choice on the Promote Her channel, airing on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire Stick.